Trip, text trip, only 2 my climate's beach. Oh yeah, full of tender girls, yes. We had a I love flying to Hawaii like a close to me. Got 5 hours to the land with an ocean breeze. See nigga views, good food, and the woman tender. Bay Area. To the islands with a culture blender.
Tell me something about the water.
It is oh so tender.
Are there beaches everywhere?
Take a drive and end up on the side of the road. Stop it is a must. Take a list.
Hello, good afternoon or evening, wherever you are. Welcome to the Mrs. Best Reviews channel. We have James from Watch Your Mouth Reviews here. Let's welcome him. You guys can subscribe to his channel. His stuff is in the description, his information. Anywho, we're here to go over Basketball Wives LA Season 11, Episode 4. I told y'all that James may or may not be with us on every recap of this. But after I said that I was going to potentially stop recapping it with him, suddenly I got a lot of views. So I guess for now, we are still with him. It looks like you look frozen. Now I can see you. Anywho, we're going to go over Season 11, Episode 4, and I'm just going to jump into it because the episodes that came on for Basketball Wives LA, in addition to Basketball Wives Orlando, are episodes that I felt demonstrate why the franchise should have been let go. I'm just because they were both episodes irked me. So we see Evelyn, Jennifer, and Brooke meet, and it was weird for me because Ev and Jen are like, I guess suddenly, right? They're like, it's like,
yeah, like what the hell? Like, what the hell going on here?
I don't fucking know. Maybe they both realize they're both equally fake and should just stop beefing because there's nothing else that makes sense. So basically they discussed the event and what went down with Brooke and Brittany Renner, who's a newbie to the cast. And at the skate event that Brittany had, the cast is trying to figure out who the hell this Clayanna chick is because we got no introduction. She just came on the screen. And, you know, I don't blame them, but somehow Brittany jumped into that. She had been drinking a lot. So basically Brittany starts voicing stuff, but when she's speaking, she's putting her upper lip up, looking like she gonna mug the girl, looking like a angry dog that can't quite bite you because he's got the shock collar on his lip or the muzzle. You know what I'm saying? She went off. Brooke stands up. Anybody from the block know if you stand up, it's a problem. Somebody stand up over me. We're not going to talk about why you're standing up over me. I'm going to fucking smack you. That's me. But, you know, everybody's different. I just think it's a threatening thing to do. Brooke says that she was standing up because she's appalled and she didn't know this and that. And she didn't think that her standing up was enough to make Brittany throw a drink in her face and want to fight. Brooke is tripping if she think that standing up on that girl was the right thing to do. The girl is showing you. She's barking. She's foaming at the mouth. The collar's shocking her. It's not working. And you sitting there and you decide I'm going to stand up on this hoe. Like, that's threatening. You can't do that to nobody. That means you want to fight.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly like we cross all kinds of leaps and bounds here. You might as well go full-fledged. Yeah, what the hell are we talking about here?
And I remember years ago, didn't Brooke beat up Jac'eil real bad years ago? And part of that was because Jac'eil stood up. So I'm like, so now you don't understand. Why?
Because you reminded me of that fight. Oh my God.
Yeah, listen, go back and look, y'all. Brooke tore that ass up. Somebody who subscribes to me, follows me on Instagram, and sit there. Remember this? I was like, oh, y'all be doing your research. Where did you find the clip? Anywho, I just felt like that was crazy. So these women are talking, and basically we hear from Jen that Clayanna has hit up Jennifer because she wants to talk, clear the air. Why Jennifer is being singled out, I do not know.
Right.
I think it's the same thing that happens with a lot of people. They single out Jennifer because she's the most quiet, the most timid, the one who ain't from the hood, all that stuff. But
right. Yeah.
Where you're from is not what makes you hard. That's all I'm going to say. So basically, they're going to meet. Jen doesn't understand why she wants to meet up with her, but she's like, I'll go. I'm willing to get to know her. So we see that. So then we see jac'eil, who is the new cast member as well. She is the fiance of someone in the WNBA, Natasha Howard. Did I get it right?
Yes.
I think I got it right.
Natasha Howard.
basically, these two discuss that they're going to be having a party, or jac'eil and clayanna meet, and they discuss that basically jac'eil is going to have a party for her fiance. Clayanna explains that things went left with Jennifer because the topic of that comes up, and the reason is because clayanna says that Jennifer was the main person asking who she is, where she came from, all of these things. Now, jac'eil basically says, because clayanna acts like she's a bit bothered, that she wants clayanna and Jen to figure out these issues. And we find out this is the reason that clayanna wants to meet with Jen. But I was kind of irked with it, James. I'm not even going to lie. I was irked because I'm like, it's Basketball Wives. Since season 1, years and years ago, they always question the newbie, like, who are you? Where you come from? Who you with? So I'm kind of...
It has to be second nature to y'all to watch these shows and see what you're getting yourself into before you sign the dotted line contract, or maybe even after you sign the dotted line contract. Do your homework, do your research, watch the behaviors, because let me tell you, Jen from season 1 is no different from Jen season whatever the fuck this is. So,
Facts.
yes.
Facts.
She's the exact same person.
I don't.
She knows what she knows. I'm mad about something that happened with Jennifer in this episode, and I can't wait till we get to it because I'm going to read the fuck out of Jennifer.
Listen, Jennifer is definitely, in my opinion, Jennifer has changed a lot, because now she'll actually engage in an argument. In season 1 of this show, she was Evelyn's little assistant. Now she is somebody. So it is what it is. I don't see Clayanna's issue. I still don't know who the hell she is and would like to know. So then we see a nothing scene that I'm not going to go over. Like, I'm not about to go over this for a long time. So I'm going to do what I told my husband. He was like, you still have to speak about it, baby girl, even if you don't want to. So I'm going to respect the professionalism of my spouse. Jen and her boy toy go to see some puppies. And
talk about this. No.
Why do we need to? Okay, I don't care to see anybody shopping for puppies. The dog that she had that passed on, no offense, looked like one of them evil dogs that bark too loud and will bite you for no reason.
No, let me tell you why we need to talk about this. Because we setting Jen up to be the food that we know she is. So, because who paid? Who put their Amex card on the bill, y'all?
I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do with this information, but I'm gonna just keep it real. Jen's boyfriend looks like her son, nephew, kid of a family friend. I don't really. And then they're looking for puppies together. I guess that's supposed to prove to us the love is real. I don't even like dogs like that.
I'm just gonna feel like this. I'm telling y'all, like Kiwi Williams said, the sex must be spectacular. It has to be. Because there is no way in hell that you doing all this shit with this little boy and you really think this is the one, Jen? Really? I mean, Jennifer, you was 104. Do you really think that this is the move you need to be making right now? Like, I'm trying to understand this. Like,
the thing, I'm gonna move on because we're not going to understand it, James. We're just not.
No, we not gonna understand it, but I'm gonna say how. So there has to be something. Jennifer, what is your net worth? Let me see something real quick, because there has to be something.
Why you look like that?
Jennifer Williams is worth $25 million.
Yeah, she grew up rich.
Oh, Jen.
She doesn't need this show, The Basketball Husband. A lot of these other women got their money from their husbands or who they dated in basketball. Not.
Oh, Jen. Oh, my Lord.
So we just go leave that there.
These dudes take advantage of you. No wonder. No wonder they're the Stone Range Rover. No wonder Tim Norman's creepy ass was trying to get. I see. Oh.
So listen, I'm gonna move on because Jennifer and this boy stressed me out, and they just looked at dogs. But what we do see is just Jac'eil and Brittany Renner. They go to meet up and they discuss the skating event. And Brittany says that the energy was off amongst Brooke, Jennifer, basically the OGs. She said the OGs came in with off energy, which is true. They came in rude with off energy and with attitudes. And I don't understand why they can't just like, I don't have people say stuff like that to, oh, well, you had an attitude. Yeah, I did, bitch. And what's up? So what? What you want to do? You want to talk about it? What are we doing? Like, nobody has time for that. But these women, instead of owning how they behave, they play these victim roles and then it turns into a thing. So what ends up happening, and this was like a breath of fresh air for me on the show, Jac'eil basically says to Brittany, she's like, y'all was both wrong, which is true because Brittany, you were drunk. You can't talk to nobody like that and expect them not to give you some type of aggressive energy back. And Brooke, you should not have stood up in an already aggressive conversation unless you're ready to fight. And that's just how I feel. And then Brittany, ping-ponging back to yo bad wig wearing ass, you threw a drink and tried to throw a punch. You both talked about each other's bodies and lives. Y'all equally wrong. And I just, that's how I feel. But I was glad that Jac'eil said something. She also explained that she don't want to be embarrassed in front of her fiance. Her fiance really does have to behave to a certain standard. Her fiance is active in the league. She can't just have this type of shit around her. So she wants, people to act right. And she's making that clear. What did you think about Jac'eil explaining to Brittany that everybody was wrong?
I feel like it's what is probably going to make at least somebody on this cast likable, where you're holding everybody accountable for what they do wrong in the situation versus saying this person started it, no, this person started it, oh, she's messy, oh, this. Y'all were all wrong, which y'all were. All of y'all were wrong. So I was happy she stood up, and I was happy she wasn't afraid to tell someone, because at the time, on this particular franchise of Basketball Wives, they're all afraid to hold each other accountable and tell someone that they were wrong. They sit there and be little church mouths and go, ooh, I can't believe
because
you
they
did
don't
that,
know
girl.
who's friends with Shawnee and who's not. And Shawnee has admitted to being biased on this show, and it doesn't take her being.
We know who Shawnee's friends.
I feel like that's why this cast be behaving like that. It annoys me, and I just don't. I don't need Shawnee to be a part of Basketball Wives at all.
Listen, we know who Shawnee's friends are. Evelyn Lozada, and that is it. Shawnee showed that on her own show that Evelyn is her only real life friend in the whole Basketball Wives franchise. Jackie, she had on her show just for ratings. I don't care what nobody tells me. That's what she had Jackie on that show for. But Evelyn is the only friend. She admitted it, and I cannot find that radio interview. She said that Evelyn is her friend. Like, that's the one she's been cool with since before when her and Shaq first got to Miami. So it's like, yeah, I get that. That's why I'm like, y'all understand this is a power game. She know Evelyn is with the shits, and she know Evelyn ain't gonna say no to no check. That because them checks is numbered these days. So
Evelyn really is lucky to be back on TV, but I will say she's doing a little bit better. But I'll just never trust her having good energy or faith toward the Black community after the comments she made. Erica Mena, same thing. Anywho, we see Jennifer and the boy toy again, and they go out for mimosas. And when ordering the mimosas, this young man decides to say, hey, yeah, heavy on the champagne, light on the juice. You old cousin Skeeter look like, I just, he stresses me out. He just seems so young. Like he hasn't done anything wrong, but I'm like, why is Jen? How old is Jennifer Williams? She's got to be like 50 now.
Jennifer Williams is almost eligible to qualify for AARP. I'm not going to sit up here.
What is she doing?
With her.
What is she doing?
I'm not going to sit up here and entertain Jennifer's shenanigans, because let's keep it real. Allegedly, this man, because I forgot if he said this on the show or not, but I found this out outside of the show. This man has 2 kids under 2.
Yes, he does.
Currently today.
He does. We're going to get into that in a dash.
That right there is the biggest red flag of them all. Why is that not clicking in your mind, Jennifer? Now that I Google what you were, like, if it's that fucking easy, like, really? Damn. Girl.
Basically,
Oh.
they have their mimosas with light juice, and Jen tells her boy Toy that it's time for him to meet her friends, and they discuss the dog. Moving on. Jac'eil and her fiance then see each other, and we get to meet her fiance and all of these things. They do seem to be very much in love, so I don't really have too much negative to say on it. I'm gonna just move it along. We did see, and I'm sorry if I'm looking down. I have to read notes, y'all, because I'll mess up the whole thing if I don't read notes. I'll just go on a tangent with opinions, and we don't need that. So then we see Jackie, and she goes to see Brooke, and this is, I guess, a big deal because they did have an issue because Brooke felt like Jackie was not there for her daughter. So then I guess now that they're cool, Brooke gives her a book of pictures and photos of her daughter. I was given out to people at her daughter's homegoing service. Condolences to Brooke again for the loss of her daughter. But I did think it was weird, and I do have to comment. Y'all can come for me, y'all cannot. I have to recap. That's what I'm supposed to do. And in my opinion, I'm not giving no bitch no book of my motherfucking child if she didn't care to be there for me. I don't care the reason. I don't care the trauma. I don't care nothing. If you didn't want to be there, you don't need the book. That's how I feel. And then we know that she also never met her daughter, but Brooke does that. And I guess Jackie always seems so disingenuous when she's moved by something. I don't know if it's just me, but it just seems so fake. Oh,
It's not just you. Yeah, it's not just you. I feel like she means well, but it just doesn't resonate coming out her mouth and her actions. I feel like she does mean well, but it just doesn't look right on paper. It's like, you don't have to do all of that. And as I said, I always side-eye Jackie when it comes to the particular word daughters. I do.
Yeah, Jackie doesn't have a clue about family loyalty. That's what we'll say.
Right.
Allegedly, because I don't need Doug Christie's money being used for no lawyer to come after my ass. Anywho, we see them discuss the whole issue that happened at the skate party, and Jackie does what Jackie does, and she just agrees with her friend. Friendship is telling your friends they're wrong sometimes, and Jackie should have told Brooke she shouldn't have stood up. Instead, she tells her, I didn't understand. It was obvious that you were, just standing up like, what's this about? Jackie, you just don't want to get that ass tapped again by Miss Brooke Bailey. Okay. And you shouldn't be so worried because she's probably not fighting no more like that anyway. She might pop an implant. So moving on. We see Jac'eil. Oh Lord, I'm getting messages from people about Basketball Wives. I am recapping now. I am here. So we are going over Basketball Wives. We will do Basketball Wives Orlando after this. I have messages coming through. Anyhow, Jac'eil, Vanessa, and Brittany meet up. Not much happened, but I have to say, Vanessa, you have to get rid of those bangs. You look like a character in One Piece or like one of the little anime shows, Seven Deadly Sins. Fucking, what is it? The Pokemon. You looking like a character that's going to fight crime. And I'm tired of her hair. And that has nothing to do with her race for those who want to look for something that's nothing.
I know, because she said it a lot nicer than I would have said, because I almost said something
anybody
that
play Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter, she looks like a video game character.
No, she looked like the female version of Joe Dirt. So it's just like,
and I can't help but think, like, maybe those bangs, I know that it's never okay to cheat, but I just feel like if she had a different hairstyle, maybe I'm trying to like, I'm trying to be nice, but like her bangs, they've began to irk. It's like, you ever heard the term like, ooh, it's just make your teeth itch? It's just uncomfortable, her bangs. And I know, like, look, I'm on my live. I ain't got no makeup on. We got the same singles on, but like when it's time to get ready, I'll get ready.
Because she does not. Let me explain. Some of y'all women do not have the head shape for bangs. Vanessa is one of them. There's some women that bangs do not look good, especially when you get them the 2002 cut bangs. Like, that is not The
I
look.
don't know what it reminded me of, like Nicki Minaj when she first came out, the China Bang she did, but like
No, it reminds me. No, that's not what her bangs remind me of. Her bangs remind me. Courtney Cox did a Scream movie. I think it was the third one, where she had bangs that were similar, and they were terrible. Like I almost want to like. I need to Google this shit. Hold on, cause yeah, I'm at a point where I just can't even face this.
listen, Hot Mess Express. But that's pretty much, we didn't get nothing from that scene other than finding out that Brittany has a hosting event in Dallas, so she won't be able to come to jac'eil's event, which is a good thing because Brittany Renner seems like if she's drinking, she's problematic. I'm gonna leave it there. And nobody likes kicking it with somebody who's sloppy, problematic, or changes when they drunk. Nobody likes that. I don't. I'll avoid the shit out of that shit. I don't play that. So it is what it is. Moving it along. I'm trying not to read these people. I'm not in the mood. Jen and Clayanna meet up. And when they meet up, Jen is confused as to why Clayanna is upset when they start the conversation. And Jen simply just asked her how she got into the group. And I personally don't see the issue with asking that because this is something that has happened on Basketball Wives plenty of times. However, oh, what the heck? It sent this link to me weirdly, just so you know, James.
Oh shit! Damn, I was trying to be funny.
It's okay. He said, "I want you to say it," but no, they meet up. And basically, I'm gonna look at my notes because this meeting with Clayanna and Jen was like problematic, and I feel like James gonna read Clayanna for filth.
Here's the thing. I'm going to read her for filth, but at the same time, I'm not mad at her right now. I'm just not mad at her because the thing about this is like, I feel like that was coming for her. Like that was coming. Like it was in due time. That was gonna happen. She was wrong, but I'm not mad at it.
I'm so done, James.
I was not mad at it. Like I was done. I was like,
we go share screen, y'all, because James sent me who the bangs reminded him of, and I'm done with him. I'm so freaking done with James Jackson. Make it weird. I almost knocked over my ring light. Wait. What you're seeing on the screen is what James from the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel feels that Vanessa from Basketball Wives LA's braids look like. And
braids, you mean bangs?
Or bangs. Oh, shit. I don't even fucking know. All I know is this is what my friend has shared. And I don't know what's wrong with him. And I don't think I think that this is why we're friends. Because I needed that laugh and we had to share that. Thank you for sending it because that's exactly what her bangs look like. I cannot. All right. We got to be nice. We got to be professional so that the people subscribe.
Hurry up.
What Vanessa's bangs look like. No, Josiah says her hairline is frazzled as fuck.
Oh, that was a good one. That was a good one. I'm sorry.
Hey, this is the third live today, y'all. We're going to have 5 lives today. We got to laugh.
Right. We got to get laugh. We got to get through all this.
Look. All right. So the Clayanna chick who just appeared, she tells Jen, she comes in hot. She does. She's like, you was questioning me on where I'm from. I don't like how you asked how I got into this group. I state I don't see the issue with this. However, some people do. So Clayanna asked Jen why she is here and how she got here. And this is where I lost Clayanna because for those who are unsure, Basketball Wives has been on television since I was in high school. And I was in high school over 10 years ago. Jen was one of the original cast members. I mean, originals as in from the first episode when we met everybody. She was part of that. So for this girl, Clayanna, to come on this show asking Jen who the hell she is and where she came from, it's like you wouldn't even be able to be here if Jen did not start the shit. So, and Jen was actually a wife at one point.
I was like, she was the only wife.
Yeah.
Let's make sure we're clear. Jennifer
Yes.
was the only wife up until season 3 of Basketball Wives. Was
This
the
is
only
true.
one that was married. Shawnee
Very
had
well.
just filed for divorce season 1.
Yep.
And
That's what
then-
made people want to watch the show.
Right. Yeah, because we needed to figure out what the hell happened there. And then also, they had other wives on there, but they weren't full-time cast members. Like Kim Russell was on there, who I love. I love me some Kim Russell. I wish she was a full-time housewife. And then they had another wife. I don't remember her name, but she was on Shawnee's wedding special.
Mhm.
And then season 3 is when Mika Claxton, who was married to Speedy Claxton, her and Jim were the only wives at that time. So, you know, because Jennifer hadn't filed for divorce yet. So she was still the wife of Eric Williams. Mika was the wife. So, and I actually paid attention because remember, my philosophy is when it comes to Basketball Wives, have that whole fucking roster up there who you been with. If it's more than one.
I think that matters. I think that definitely matters. But Clayanna, you do not need to be questioning the OGs on this show. We don't know who the hell you are. And I'm not taking away from her accolades. I know she has a degree. I know that she has her businesses and that she works and she is a boss. We cannot take that from her. However, we wouldn't care to see you on TV if not for Jen doing it. So that's just what I will say. So what I got from it is Clayanna basically did not want a resolution. I think she just called Jen there to check her because she never not once started the conversation like she wanted a resolution. And my thing is, you don't have to want resolution. If you want beef with a bitch, have beef with a bitch. But don't waste your time and this person's time to call them to a meeting, making it seem like you're trying to get to know each other or make peace when you really just want to start some shit. That's stupid. If you got a problem, speak about it. Other than that, why waste the energy? So I didn't understand that situation, but she started to question after questioning how Jen got there. Then she questions her marriage. It was like, were you even a basketball wife? And I'm just like, you can't, like Clayanna probably thought she ate, probably thought she read Jen for filth, but she has no.
No, I feel like she confused her with Evelyn and realistically didn't do her homework like she was supposed to. That's why I'm not going to read her too much because I felt like it was misplaced. It was like right message, wrong person.
So the problem with it though is Clayanna continues going. She's getting at Jen about all these things, as James said, that's incorrect. And that's probably a good point. She probably was mixing her up with Evelyn because Evelyn has never been a wife. When she was for like a week or two. And it's true. Shit, the truth is the truth. Tell the truth, shame the devil. Oh, well, it's the truth. And Jen was a wife for like 13 plus years. So it's one of those things where Clayanna thought that she was reading her for filth, but just looked underprepared and uneducated. And she has a degree. So that's unfortunate. So I didn't understand what Clayanna was mad for, but Jen did what any true woman with class would do and walked away and out of that restaurant. I didn't blame her. I think she figured out this chick wants a moment for the TV and I'm not going to give it to her because she's new. She got up, she dipped, and this girl Clayanna follows her out. She looked so upset. That's when I saw that Clayanna, like, it seemed like Clayanna actually became mad versus trying to read her because she's like, oh, this bitch walked away from me. Follows her out the restaurant, yelling and cursing at Jen, going crazy. Gets in Jen's face and tells her to get away from her. You followed this woman out of the restaurant. She left. She was avoiding you. You got up out of your seat, followed her out of the restaurant. And then when you get close to her, get away from me, and you push her. I don't like bitches like that. Because did you use those words knowing that Clayanna, you giving Karen? Just saying, because how you chase somebody else?
I feel like she used it. See, I feel like she used those words. This is where she's stupid. I feel like she used those words to provoke the idea that Jen hit her first, so that way she wouldn't catch any type of
Mhm.
physical charges on this bullshit. And you're stupid because when the courts subpoena the tapes, they get the unedited version and not this complete edit version that still look like you started the shit with her first and hit her first.
Mhm.
And you know this is a woman. If you did your, that's why I said I don't think she did her homework. I feel
No.
like she didn't watch Basketball Wives. I feel like she did not, because if you know, Jennifer's not the one to fight.
Nope. She'll call
Evelyn's
the
the one to
police
throw
on
the
you
drink.
so
She'll call the
file.
police. She'll call the police and then press charges against you and then sue your ass for whatever you got.
Yep. And
That's
make
how
a
I know you
documentary
didn't.
on MTV.
That's how I know you didn't do your homework and you got the wrong one. That's what you mad at.
Listen, Clayanna, you looking crazy. First of all, I'm wondering if your anger comes from your name. It's a strange name. I think of clay. Like I think of putting together something and then putting it in the kiln to dry and get shiny. I think of clay. I like arts and crafts, y'all. Sorry.
I'm
At
not
one
doing
point, I
this.
used to make flower vases, cups. I like shit like that. Who doesn't? Anywho, so yeah, Clayana, she did too much. I hate people who do that. Don't start no shit with somebody and then try to manipulate the situation in our. I don't like that. So I'm kind of like, I'm looking at Clayana with the side eye, and that's all I can do. I want to know how y'all feel about it because I was looking online and I know a lot of people feel differently about it. But one thing we can all agree on, true Basketball Wives fans, as James said, Jennifer is not the one to physically assault. Don't even touch her in an argument. As soon as that girl got up to follow out the restaurant,
don't even argue with her. Shit, hell, just let her be.
I wouldn't have followed Jen out the restaurant. I would have let her.
I wouldn't even
leave.
have wasted my time coming up there.
Listen.
So
they have to fulfill their requirements with contracts. Anywho,
guess.
moving it along. The next thing we see is Jennifer meeting with jac'eil, and she tells her of the interaction that she had with Clayanna, as Jennifer does. And Jennifer says she's not going to go to the event if Clayanna is there, which honestly is smart. If it looks like this girl is trying to have a moment with you off of your name when you've been part of keeping this show going so that the bitch could be on the show, I wouldn't give her the moment anyway. So I agreed with that. And this is part of the issue with the cast that I did take a note on. I think this is why you can't really mix too much old and too much new together when it comes to these shows, because this has been a problem on Basketball Wives for the last, like, I'd say 4 seasons that have come on. They keep trying to bring back the OGs, but the fans aren't asking for these OGs and wouldn't mind some new blood, but then the way they incorporate it is too much. You could tell there's a clear, like, power tree that's going on within the cast and production, and I don't like it, and that is the fault of the executive producer usually, and that's Shawnee. So that's why I say she needs to be away from this show. Moving on, Evelyn goes on a date with Levon, which is her dude. I know some of you guys have watched Queen's Court. I did not watch the whole show. I'm not going to lie. I watched a total of 3 episodes, the first, the third, and the end, because I didn't have time for that. I was in college at the time. But we see Evelyn and Levon. That is her fiance, who we now know she is no longer with. And she's explaining that she's not doing well. She's had reservations about getting married. She gives a story about being concerned about marriage from, when she was married to Ocho Cinco. Evelyn, stop saying that man's name and talking about that fucking marriage. I'm sick of it. If it really is affecting you, go to therapy, get help. Other than that, we don't care. It was over.
Here's my thing, because I have something to add to that.
Mm-hmm.
So what makes your engagement with Carl any different?
She claims we never got close to getting married.
Yet and still, you were trying to have multiple babies with this man, and was engaged to him for years.
That's the thing that I think is good you brought up. And a lot of girls are like this. Don't be suddenly concerned about marriage as if it's so important when you wasn't concerned and having this same thought process into having your kids. That doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense. That's why I said.
It doesn't make
when
sense
she
to
said
me.
that, I correlated. I said, okay, well, what would make Carl's engagement any different? To me, I feel like she's attracted to a certain type of dude, the Ocho Cincos and the Carl Crawfords and the Antoine Walkers, where this dude that she got engaged with
He's a good
does not
guy.
fit that same prototype.
I
You know,
thought the
he
same thing. Yeah.
yeah, I feel like that's realistically why this happened the way that it did, because it didn't make sense to me when she said it. It didn't resonate with me when she was talking about her marriage, when you had another engagement after the fact of that marriage, where
Mm.
you could have gotten married. My thing is, if I remember correctly, and this is alleged, I thought it had something to do with the prenup to why you and him weren't getting married.
Hmm.
So then that was alleged. I mean, it was in the blogs. It was allegedly. But
I
but
think
yeah.
that what's in the blogs usually where there's smoke, there's fire for the most part. But I don't know. I was kind of annoyed. She basically says, I'm looking at my notes so I could get this shit over with. She says she was overwhelmed. She how she met Levon, her current spouse, she says is similar to how she met Ocho Cinco. She tried to explain it. To me, it does not make sense, but if that's her truth, that's her truth. What I will say is she makes it clear that she wants to slow things down. He agrees, and I was glad that he agreed. I could tell when she started to talk about her exes and cry over the marriage not working with Carl, and then also crying over what happened with Ocho Cinco. To me, that said she's not healed from those past situations. But I think to her current dude, being that he does seem mature and decent, like if you look at his face, you could tell his energy shifted when she started that, because he's like, oh, don't cry now. You know, that's fine. I can respect taking things, you know, slowing things down. But like, if you really care about your female, give her a hug, embrace. You could tell he was slightly agitated, which he has a right to be, but I think it's good that she communicated it with him. So I'll just leave it there. Is there anything you wanted to add to
No.
that?
No,
Yeah.
I say what I had to say.
I just think Evelyn's a bad dater. She doesn't know
No,
how
I
to.
just think that, as I said, she's used to the toxicity of a man versus getting one that will actually treat you well. Some toxic men can treat women well. I get that. But the level of toxicity that she's used to, that man did
Mm,
not have. So I think that that's where she lost on the mark. And that's what irks me about women who complain about not having a good man. And when you finally get one, yeah, he may not have the money that Carl has. Nobody has that kind of fucking money, first off.
yeah.
But what we're saying is that at least he took care of himself, could probably take care of you, and was a good dude at the end of the day. And it infuriates me because there's a lot of women who want men like that men like that won't even look twice at.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually very true. I agree. I agree. So we're gonna leave that with his opinions because we perfectly agree. So we see Jac'eil's event for her fiance, and we see, let me see, Jackie, Brooke, Evelyn, Jennifer, and Jennifer's boy toy. They come, and I know that her boy toy is her boyfriend, y'all, but I can't. I just look at it and that's what I see. I can't. I just cannot. So, you know, it's just very weird. We find out when her little boy toy come in that the young man has two children. One of his kids are 2, and the other child is 1. I don't know if both kids are with the same person, but based on the timing, which Miss Vanessa broke it down for us, unless this woman had one of them children early or unusually late, it doesn't look like he could have had these children with the same women.
I mean, even if you think, because back in even the 50s, if we really wanted to put some shit together, like, yeah, you saw that back in those times, because doctors didn't give a fuck. They said, "Plop that baby out, get your ass out this hospital, and come on." That's what they did back in those times. And then when the men, because a lot of times men didn't sleep with the women while they were pregnant because of some ignorant ass reason, and as soon as that baby dropped, that's when they took their shot. And overall, you got another baby 9 months later. Now, I don't believe that these 2 babies are by the same woman either, because it wouldn't make sense to me.
But Jen, but the point of it is not even to get at this boy. The point of it is, this is where as women we got to hold ourselves and each other accountable. At any age, what are you doing? Unless you yourself are also in the situation with small kids like him, what are you doing Jennifer, because listen, I don't have kids, and I think I speak for the rest of us who don't have kids, who have thoughtfully put effort into having kids and being responsible before bringing a kid into our bullshit. I'm gonna just say this: listen, people who don't have kids for damn sure are not interested in dating someone with kids that small. So like multiple children, it just doesn't make sense. He tells this story of them meeting in her building, and I'm like, well, who did he live with in that building? Because I guarantee you, he can't afford to live in the building that Jennifer Williams can live
not
in.
on no regular income and not being a nobody on his YouTube channel driving her Rolls Royce.
I just found that to be weird. So I'm looking at the group and they're trying to be nice, but I could tell they're like, Jen has made some crazy choices. And Evelyn said it best in her confessional. She says, listen, I was Jennifer's friend for years and she's never made good relationship choices. Evelyn says, best example, Timmy Thick Thighs. I said, oh my God.
Oh, not Timmy Thick Thighs. I
said, she just called this man Timmy Thick Thighs. And he was thick. I'm sure he's doing well in jail. He was thick. Anywho, we do find out that Jac'eil decided to disinvite Clayanna to the party because of Clayanna assaulting Jen. I don't see anything wrong with that. Clayanna and Brittany Renner are the two people I think who were not mature enough to be at that party without starting shit. That's just how I feel, y'all. I don't think that either of them needed to be there, and it looked like they had a good time without them. So maybe at first I was looking at it, the first few episodes, like the OGs is the problem, but now I'm looking like maybe the newbies feel like they have too much to prove to these people and are coming in doing the most or something. I don't know, but it just annoyed me. So pretty much the episode ends when the group realizes that Evelyn is not wearing her ring. And I'm not going to talk about that further because I felt like the conversation at the dinner was enough. But feel free to those watching to comment your opinions on Evelyn not wearing her ring. I will gladly participate and comment back. But unless James has an extra opinion, I'm going to end the live.
No, you can end the live. I don't have an extra opinion. I already said what I have to say about Evelyn. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Anywho, you guys, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I usually play a song at the end of my live, but I do not do that on my collab lives because we have schedules to keep. But that is my recap of Basketball Wives LA Season 11, Episode 4. Stay on the channel and wait for the notification. Ring that hot ass bell. I will be going live in less than 5 minutes. We're going to go over Basketball Wives Orlando. Pray for me. Thank you for being here, James, and I appreciate everyone for watching and all 452 of my subscribers. I hope that you guys keep subscribing. Peace, love. Adios.
Adios.